Tantor Audio, a division of Recorded Books, presents The Mindful Path to Self-Compassion, Freeing Yourself from Destructive Thoughts and Emotions, by Christopher K. Germer, Ph.D. Narrated by Stephen R. Thorne. Introduction. Life is tough. Despite our best intentions, things go wrong, sometimes very wrong. 90% of us get married, full of hope and optimism, yet 40% of marriages end in divorce. We struggle to meet the demands of daily life, only to find ourselves needing care for stress-related problems like high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, alcoholism, or a weakened immune system. How do we typically react when things fall apart? More often than not, we feel ashamed and become self-critical. What's wrong with me? Why can't I cope? Why me? Perhaps we go on a mission to fix ourselves, adding insult to injury. Sometimes we go after others. Rather than giving ourselves a break, we seem to find the path of greatest resistance. Yet no matter how hard we try to avoid emotional pain, it follows us everywhere. Difficult emotions, shame, anger, loneliness, fear, despair, confusion, arrive like clockwork at our door. They come when things don't go according to our expectations, when we're separated from loved ones, and as a part of ordinary sickness, old age, and death. It's just not possible to avoid feeling bad. But we can learn to deal with misery and distress in a new, healthier way. Instead of greeting difficult emotions by fighting hard against them, we can bear witness to our own pain and respond with kindness and understanding. That's self-compassion, taking care of ourselves just as we'd treat someone we love dearly. If you're used to beating yourself up during periods of sadness or loneliness, if you hide from the world when you make a mistake, or if you obsess over how you could have prevented the mistake to begin with, self-compassion may seem like a radical idea. But why should you deny yourself the same tenderness and warmth you extend to others who are suffering? When we fight emotional pain, we get trapped in it. Difficult emotions become destructive and break down the mind, body, and spirit. Feelings get stuck, frozen in time, and we get stuck in them. The happiness we long for in relationships seems to elude us. Satisfaction at work lies just beyond our reach. We drag ourselves through the day, arguing with our physical aches and pains. Usually we're not aware just how many of these trials have their root in how we relate to the inevitable discomfort of life. Change comes naturally when we open ourselves to emotional pain with uncommon kindness. Instead of blaming, criticizing, and trying to fix ourselves, or someone else, or the whole world, when things go wrong and we feel bad, we can start with self-acceptance. Compassion first. This simple shift can make a tremendous difference in your life. Imagine that your partner just criticized you for yelling at your daughter. This hurts your feelings and leads to an argument. Perhaps you felt misunderstood, disrespected, unloved, or unlovable. Maybe you didn't use the right words to describe how you felt, but more likely your partner was being too angry or defensive to hear what you had to say. Now imagine that you took a deep breath and said the following to yourself before the argument. More than anything, I want to be a good parent. It's so painful to me when I yell at my child. I love my daughter more than anything in the world, but sometimes I just lose it. I'm only human, I guess. May I learn to forgive myself for my mistakes, and may we find a way to live together in peace. Can you feel the difference? A moment of self-compassion like this can change your entire day. A string of such moments can change the course of your life. Freeing yourself from the trap of destructive thoughts and emotions through self-compassion can boost your self-esteem from the inside out, reduce depression and anxiety, and even help you stick to your diet. And the benefits aren't just personal. Self-compassion is the foundation of compassion for others. The Dalai Lama said, "Compassion is the state of wishing that the object of our compassion be free of suffering. Yourself first, and then, in a more advanced way, the aspiration will embrace others." It makes sense, doesn't it, that we won't be able to empathize with others if we can't tolerate the same feelings, despair, fear, failure, shame, occurring within ourselves. And how can we pay the slightest attention to others when we're absorbed in our own internal struggles? When our problems become workable again, we can extend kindness to others, which can only help improve relationships and enhance our overall contentment and satisfaction with life. Self-compassion is really the most natural thing in the world. Think about it for a minute. If you cut your finger, you'll want to clean it, bandage it, and help it heal. That's innate self-compassion. But where does self-compassion go when our emotional well-being is at stake? What's effective for survival against a saber-toothed tiger doesn't seem to work in emotional life. We instinctively go to battle against unpleasant emotions as if they were external foes, and fighting them inside only makes matters worse. Resist anxiety, and it can turn into full-blown panic. Suppress grief, and chronic depression may develop. Struggling to fall asleep can keep you awake all night long. When we're caught up in our pain, we also go to war against ourselves. The body protects itself against danger through fight, flight, or freeze, staying frozen in place. But when we're challenged emotionally, these reactions become an unholy trinity of self-criticism, self-isolation, and self-absorption. A healing alternative is to cultivate a new relationship to ourselves, described by research psychologist Kristin Neff as self-kindness, a sense of connection with the rest of humanity, and balanced awareness. That's self-compassion. In this book, you'll discover how to bring self-compassion to your emotional life when you need it most, when you're dying of shame, when you grind your teeth in rage or fear, or when you're too fragile to face yet another family gathering. Self-compassion is giving yourself the love you need by boosting your innate wish to be happy and free from suffering. Dealing with emotional pain without making it worse is the essence of Buddhist psychology. The ideas in this book draw from that tradition, particularly those concepts and practices that have been validated by modern science. What you'll hear is essentially old wine in new bottles, ancient insights in modern psychological idiom. You don't have to believe in anything to make the practices work for you. You can be a Christian, a Jew, a Muslim, a scientist, or a skeptic. The best approach is to be open-minded, experimental, and flexible. Clinical scientists discovered meditation in the 1970s, and it's now one of the most thoroughly researched of all psychotherapy methods. Over the past 15 years, research has focused primarily on mindfulness, or awareness of present experience with acceptance. Mindfulness is considered an underlying factor in effective psychotherapy and emotional healing in general. When therapy goes well, patients, or clients, develop an accepting attitude toward whatever they're experiencing in the therapy room: fear, anger, sadness, joy, relief, boredom, love. And this benevolent attitude gets transferred to daily life. A special bonus of mindfulness is that it can be practiced at home in the form of meditation. Mindfulness tends to focus on the experience of a person, usually a sensation, thought, or feeling. But what do we do when the experiencer is overcome with emotion, perhaps with shame or self-doubt? When that happens, we don't just feel bad, we feel we are bad. We can become so rattled that it's hard to pay attention to anything at all. What do we do when we're alone in the middle of the night, twisting the sheets around us in bed, sleep medication isn't working, and therapy is a week away? Mostly, we need a good friend with a compassionate heart. If one isn't immediately available, we can still give kindness to ourselves. Self-compassion.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?